All right. Yeah, sorry about that. Please, am I still audible? Can you guys still hear me?
17. Yeah.
Can you guys still hear me? Okay. All right. So, getting right into it. Let me share my screen so that I'm going to correct. Right. So let me go through Mojola's write up. Oh, okay. Olushola, were you aware of the assignment or not? I know Promise was not around, so I think you were around last week, right? Please unmute yourself and talk, please. Hmm. Olushola, can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
All right, Promise, you said you went through the recordings. You should be able to know there was an assignment, or you've not watched the recordings to that point.
I actually did not finish it. I was like brushed to it. So
Please, don't. Hmm. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. You didn't finish the recording.
I just brushed through it. So I
Is that
was
what you're saying?
with the
I
camera.
think my network is lagging behind.
Hello.
Through Mojola's assignments.
Hey, alt, alt,
Hmm.
window.
All right, can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. Go ahead. You can see it again. Oh.
Okay. All right, so let's check. You can see it again. Okay, stop sharing. Let me stop sharing and share again. Okay. Um.
We can see it, ma. We can see it.
What about now? Okay, thank you. So let's go through the last right up. Okay, so I'll try and bring the one I did in because I also did mine. So let me try and bring it in. So let me copy this. Okay. So I did mine. This is mine. Okay. So let me copy this to Motorola one as well. Okay. Hope I'm still audible. Are we good to go? All right. Thank you. Yeah. So let's start from here. Okay. The merging is nice. Okay. So the first module, I hope you can see this. Please just respond.
I can hear you.
All right. So the first thing I will say about this is that for your nav bar, this your nav bar, this is your nav bar and this is your logo. So your nav bar does not comprise of your logo. The only thing that comprises of your logo and your CTA button is your header. So for this now, you grouping everything together as nav bar is not correct actually. So this should be the header. So what you do is just to group these first, these three first. And it would be better to have added auto layouts because I think I touched auto layouts last week, right? So it would be better to just add auto layouts to all this first. So you make this navbar an entity. So that is their one, an entity. Then you now go further to add auto layouts or you group with the logo. Hope you get that.
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. So for the next one, this is cool, but your line height is not correct. You know, I can notice from me that your line height is not correct. So use auto. Yeah, perfect. So your line height is not correct. So corrected that. Then you didn't add auto layouts, or let's say you use grouping. All right, so use grouping. Okay, that's perfect. But the spacing in between, they are not the same. So what I'll just advise to do is to use auto layouts for these things so that you can have like a definite spacing in between it. Then for your buttons, I would always prefer you use auto layouts because auto layouts will make it fit. It will make it fit into the background that is this rectangle here. So adding control G, that means this can shift to anywhere. You can like make mistake, you may not know, you can make mistake maybe when you're designing an online, you didn't even know you picked this or if it has scattered. So it will be better for you to use auto layouts for this so that you won't be able to even move the right up. So it will become like an entity. Same thing goes with this. So you add auto layouts with this and this. And also your button should be the same. 245.78. So now this is it. This should be 245.78. Perfect. Now you can see that they're like the same height and the same width now. So what you just do is to add auto layouts to these two. Are you getting that? Because I'm going to Control Z and you do this yourself.
Yes, I'm
Are you
following.
getting it?
Yes.
All right. So that's for that. That's for the buttons. All right. So the next thing, okay, this is cool. This is nice. So let me remove the grid actually. Let me remove it to see how it looks. Beautiful. Not bad. Yeah, not bad. All right. So same thing goes with this. The line heights. All right. You use style guide here. Okay. So for the line heights, okay. Yeah, I know the line height is not correct. So also this for now, perfect. So you do the same thing with this. Then okay, so you added auto layouts for this. You added auto layouts for this. So if you are going to use group, make sure that the distance between each is the same. If you are going to use group, or if not, just use auto layout so that to just save you from the stress. So just use auto layouts. Same thing goes with this.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay, I'm
I'm
listening.
going to look for the auto layer.
It's not just press shift A. That means you've not watched the recording to that last week Sunday. So you just highlight, you pick the two elements. This is one, this is two. You pick it, then press shift A. So you will see the auto layout settings here. So you can either make it left, make it right, make it center, the rest. Do you get that? Do you get that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So for modular, so just work with your also for your okay, let me see. Okay, this is 60. Okay. Okay, they are different. I thought your hero section right up and this is the same. So I think they are different. Okay. Okay, for this 24. Then where do you have letter spacing? There should not be letter spacing here. 0. And this should be also. Yeah, perfect. So do the same thing for this. So do the same for this too. This should be 0. Your letter spacing should be 0. Okay, for this is good. This is actually nice. It's nice. All right, for this, okay, I can see your line height as well is not correct. So let me just correct the line height from the. Let me just correct the line height from. Okay, I've done it. I've done that. Okay. Okay, I've done that. So it is corrected. So reduce, make it fit. Also for this, the masking, beautiful. The line height as well. So work with this. Work with the line heights. Then this is good actually. This is good. Then what you would have just done in this part is to group each. Okay, you did. All right, cool. Then what you have just done is to add auto layouts to these three. Just add auto layout to it so that it would be an entity. All right, so for this, okay, the line height is not correct and the letter spacing as well. Then for this, the line height as well is not correct. Then there's a corner radius here. For this rectangle here, there's a corner radius, which is not here. Also, I think that is for that. Yeah, so I think that is for that. Then okay, this gradient, really tried for this gradient. Then for this, please hope I'm still audible, please.
Yes.
Hope you guys can still hear me. Okay. All right, so for this part as well, you made it a text field, which is not meant to be so. It's meant to be one by one. Home should be separate, should have a text field. About should have a text field. Buy NFT should be a text field. Sell NFT should be a text field. There should be different words, not putting it in like a text field. So this is what I mean by text field. This is a text field. So you have to like differentiate, separate them one by one. I think same goes with this, yes. So separate them one by one. Then you add auto layout to it. You add auto layout to it with this. You add auto layout to everything. The home, about us, buy NFT, sell NFT, and add auto layout to it. Then you now pick this entity after adding auto layout, and you add auto layout with this. So now this will be this and this will be an entity. This and this will be an entity. So when you're done with these three, you now add auto layout to this entity, this one, you add auto layout with this, and this. Do you get that?
Yes.
I I didn't even know the stuff has went off. I just kept talking and talking. Please, can you see me? At what point did I go? Did the network go off, or should I say the video call? Hi, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I said at what point did the network go off because I kept talking. I just noticed that
And
I'm not
then
sharing my.
about stage, when you're talking about to differentiate the footer.
Wow, 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 wow. Right, so can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't even know. I just kept talking because I'm on another tab, so there's no how I will know if anything is happening on the Google Meet screen. All right. So what I was saying was that you should make them a text field. Each of them make them a text field, not like this. So you bring this. This should be separate. The home should be separate. The about should be separate. The buy NFT and sell NFT as well. It should be separate. So when you're done with that, you add auto layout to the four. After adding auto layout to this, you now come ahead to add auto this entity. After adding auto layout, it will be like an entity, a group. So you now add auto layout to this to make the crypto and this nav bar an entity. So after that, you do the same for these ones. You do the same for this one. So when you're done with the three, you now pick the three entities, and add auto layouts. Do you get that?
Yes, I understand.
All right. Okay. So that's it. So now for your buttons are now okay. Roboto. Okay, use Roboto. Use outfit for this. Okay, use Roboto for your buttons, right?
Yes, I use Roboto and Outfit. That's the two fonts that I use.
Okay. So this is 24. This is 24 as well. Let me make this also. Let me make this 0. Because actually your button is actually too big here. The button is too big. The right top is too big. So what was the font size that the guy used? Was it the same one? Because it's too big here actually.
I just don't remember the size of font to use. Yeah. But it shouldn't more than maybe 8 or 16 or less than.
Okay. Okay, I get what you're trying to do here to just maintain consistency. I get it. But this is a newsletter actually. So it's inside a footer. So it should not be too big since it's just like a text field. Okay, you added auto layout. Perfect. I can see why it's shrinking to the text size. So I prefer this should look like this. Uh, so this should be here. Then group everything together. Okay, this is not grouped. So you make it one entity. Then the join our newsletter. She starts from here. Possibly like this. All right. So I think after this, you're good to go. So this is actually a nice try. It's a nice try. It's nice. So kudos to Mojola for a nice landing page. All right. So promise, you said you didn't attempt yours, right? Please unmute yourself and talk. All right. So in case you want to attempt it, I sent the link to the group chat. If you're on the group chat, so I sent the link there. You can just it's a YouTube video. So you it's a YouTube video. So you just follow what the guy said, and the link for the resources are there as well. So just follow what the guy said and design yours. It's very explanatory, very, very explanatory. All right, so since only Mojola did it is our own, so let me just move to the today's class. Okay, I think only Mojola did this. See me the attempted. All right. So let's just move to today's class. Let me stop sharing now so I can share today's class. So for today, we are going to be talking about UI design patterns. Last week we started UI design, but today we are going to be talking about UI design patterns and how we can incorporate these patterns in our design. So, can you guys see my screen?
No, we can't.
Okay, I think it's the network. Okay, I guess it's still loading.
You can see it now.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. So for today, we are going to be talking about UI design patterns, like I said. So these UI design patterns, they are majorly the patterns that we use for design, like some recurrable patterns that we use in design. Like we mentioned in our principle of UI design that we should use familiar UI patterns or things that the users are familiar with. So we are going to be treating some of that, just some. I'm not going to touch everything, it's just some of it. So now, what are UI design patterns? UI design patterns are revisable or recurring components in which designers use to solve problem in UI design. They provide consistent, efficient ways to solve usability issues, like how featuring should function in e-commerce sites without causing disruptive refreshing. So basically, like I said, there are some features. Okay, let me use the word features. There are some features that we use in UI design. For example, and what I mean by features is that important features that can be in your design that will make your design more usable, that will enhance the usability of your product. So for example, incorporating search bar in e-commerce websites. Like e-commerce websites, we have a lot of information, a lot of products on e-commerce websites, and incorporating a search bar. A search bar is one of the UI design patterns. Incorporating a search bar in your design will make it easy for your users to find their way or navigate their ways through the website. And also using the filter icons or the filter feature. The filter means that you can input your preference, like you can input what you're looking for according to your preference. So just going to bring all out, or it's going to bring up all those like products that are within your preference, that within what you typed in. So that is like helping your users to navigate their way, not helping your users not to spend too much time looking for what they want. So those are what we mean by UI design patterns. That is incorporating patterns that are already in place, that are already like set for designers to use, and patterns that users are already familiar with, that can enhance the usability of our products. Please, in case I go off at any time, please just let me know, because I'm actually on another tab entirely. All right. So, like I said, there are patterns that UI designers use in their design. So, for instance, in an e-commerce filter pattern, in an e-commerce website, we have filter patterns, we have buttons, we have drop down menu, we have check boxes. So all those features, all those patterns, they are what you can incorporate into our website to make sure that our website is more usable. It's easy to use, it's easy to interact with. So now, by understanding and leveraging both, designers can create functional and user-friendly interfaces, and it allows the designer to choose the best and commonly used interface for specific contexts. So as we are going forward, you guys understand more. Then each pattern contains a usability related problem, a user's usability related problem, the context where that problem happens, the principle involved, the proven solution for the designer to implement to address the core of the problem, the the reason why you are using the pattern or why it can affect usability, examples and implementation. So basically what this is saying is that you cannot just pick features just for picking sake. You have to use features that it's relatable to your design. It has to, like, it's going to enhance your design or your product's usability. You can't just wake up and start saying you want to incorporate things just to put it there so that your design will be full or your design will be looking nice without, without the feature acting like acting a particular purpose. For example, now imagine having let me see, imagine for your e-commerce website, I'm going to use e-commerce website again. For your e-commerce website, imagine asking questions like for the registration page, imagine asking questions like marital status, imagine asking questions like um employment status and all things that are not even relevant to your product or what your product is about. So whatever feature you are trying to incorporate, make sure that they are relevant to your products. They are actually important. They're like important features. They are serving a purpose why it's in the products. So don't just pick anything. Don't just pick any feature just so that you just want to like put it for putting sake. So make sure that that particular thing is serving a is solving a problem. It's going to enhance your product usability in a good way, in a positive way. So basically, that's what that implies. So now we are going to move into common UI design patterns that we know. The first one is breadcrumb. Breadcrumb is just basically like a navigation pattern that shows the paths where you've been coming from to where you are. For example, we have this is an example here. Now you can see from here, you can see the paths or the steps that the user have been taking. For example, from the home page, he was able to go to, maybe he wants to shop wants to look for a MacBook, wants to buy a MacBook laptop. So from the home page, he went to shop Mac, maybe he went to the Mac category. MacBook category. So from the MacBook category, it went to the MacBook Pro. So maybe under MacBook Pro, we still have other things. So from the MacBook Pro, it went to configure. So this is like steps that it has been taken from the beginning when he entered the product or when he started using the product, from the beginning to where he's at exactly. So that's like a navigation pattern. That is for breadcrumbs. So it's actually a good pattern to incorporate into your design so that your user will know where they are coming from to where they are exactly, so that it's going to solve maybe confusion or maybe the user didn't remember where they were coming from or sorts. So that is for that. Then for lazy registrations basically means allowing your user to be able to access your website without registration. So forms can put user off registration. So use this sign up pattern to let users sample what your site offers for free. or familiarize themselves with it. I'm going to use a e-commerce website again for an example. Example e-commerce website like I've known, you can access their products, you can check through their website, you can go through their websites for free without registering. But when you're about to take a particular action, an important action, it will require you to fill a form or to sign up or register. So that's what they are trying to say here, that make your content available to your users. Make it available to your users. Then from there, maybe they want to take a particular action, an important action, you now require them to fill, to register. And when they want to register, always make sure that you don't bombard them with so many questions. Just put necessary questions. Just input necessary questions that are relevant, that you really need. Their importance. They are important for you to know as a designer, or as the stakeholder or the owner of the product. So make sure that you are incorporating important questions. Don't ask don't ask your users for too many questions, because people get tired easily when they are feeling so many informations. They get tired easily. So just ask for important informations. So that is for lazy registration. That's another UI design pattern that we can incorporate. The next one is forgiving formats. So in this forgiving format, you can allow your users to enter their data in various formats. Allow your users to enter their data in various formats. For example, maybe you're asking for a location. You can allow them, maybe you ask for the country, that's all. Then maybe you want to know the exact place that they are. You can input your state, or you can input your city, or you can input your zip code. You can see from all these, there's no way you still be able to, like, everything is still connected together. So if you don't remember your city, remember your zip code. And I know each city, they have different zip codes. So remember your zip code. If you don't know your zip code, just input your village. So that's what I mean by forgiving patterns. That is allowing your users to enter data in various formats. Then we have clear primary action. For clear primary action, basically it has to do with our CTA buttons. It has to do with our CTA buttons. That is for our call to action buttons. Always make sure that the write-up that is on your button, it is very clear. And the button should stand out with color. If you should be able to emphasize on it, it should stand out with color. So that is for the clear primary action. And when you have a button, make sure it looks like a button. Don't just put a text like that without adding color or anything. So you draw a shape, like I've taught you, draw a shape and input your write up, and input what the button is about. Maybe it's for register, maybe it's for login, maybe it's for add to cart, maybe it's for continue. Just make sure that what the purpose this button is serving, make sure that it is very clear, so that the user will not be confused, or by the time the user click on the button, it's taking them to another thing. It's taking them to a screen that they are not expecting. So make sure that the write-up is very clear, and make sure that your button stand out. Emphasize on it with color. So the next one, please, am I still audible? Are you guys still with me? Are you guys still with me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So for the next thing is the progressive disclosure. So for this progressive disclosure, it's a pattern that makes you show your users relevant informations. For example, you can have some website that they are going to have, maybe for the intro, they will have like a little write up. Then there will be a button, or not really a button, like a link that you can click on to see more about the information. So that is what we mean by progressive disclosure. That is not jam packing your user with so many informations. You can just put a little write up, a summary of it. Then when the user wants to see more, maybe the user is interested in reading it, you can click on see more to see more of the write up. Or not even, I just made that one as an example. There are so many ways that you can add progressive disclosure. For example, you can, for e-commerce website, there are some products that even on e-commerce, majorly on e-commerce websites, when you see like a summary of the product, you see the price, you see the name, everything and all. So when you click on the product, it will take you to where you see like the details, the detailed information about the products. But there are sometimes that they will have like an icon, like maybe a CIA, an eye icon. So when you click on the eye icon, it's going to just show up the details of the product. So that is what we mean by progressive disclosure. That is showing users only relevant features that are relevant for the task. That is breaking your demands into sections. So, and the advantage of this is that it reduces cognitive load, because when you have so many loads on your design or your website due to development or all, if you have too many loads on your website, it's going to take long to load. So for example, we have an example here. You can see this is a section. Then we have for the settings is not there, but you have a settings icon there that when you click on it, it will show you this particular section. Please, can you guys see this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can you guys see this? All right. So now clicking on this, there's a settings icon here now. We have just a limited information here, but clicking on it, it will show you more settings. So there are sometimes that even as a user, I don't have business to do with all this. So why do you have to show me all this? Why not just break it into sections that, okay, I may decide to come here, or maybe I don't even have any business here. What I need is only on this screen. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? So you have to make sure that you are showing your users only relevant informations or features that are important for the task they want to take or they want to achieve. Then the next one is over control. The next one is over control. That is hiding non-essential information on detailed pages. I'm very sure that we interact with a website sometimes where you have on the nav bar, you have like a drop down button that where you over on this is going to show you details under that particular under each nav bar. Have you seen something like that before? That's when you over on the nav bar, it's going to like show you the drop down options. Have you seen something like that before? If you are not talk, so that I'm going to show you.
No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, let me show you something. Let me show you one.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, I'm trying to show you one. Actually. All right, let's say a forex trading website. All right, so while that is loading, I'm going to show you more. So while that is loading, let's just continue. So now we also have steps left. We also have steps left. So this basically means showcasing showing your users the steps that they've taken, showing your users the step that they've taken, or the one that they will still have to take, the one that they will have to take to be able to until they reach the end of their task, until they reach the end of their task. So for example, we have this picture here. So for this registration screen, we have 3 steps for the registration screen. The first step is to register. The second step is to, I don't know what the second step would be for. Then maybe let's say the second step is to register your email, your contact information and all. Then the third step is to confirm your registration. So you can see that here it shows the step that the users have to take. For example, maybe the user is not with the first one and is on the second one. You saw that it should have like changed the first step. There will be like a change there to showcase that, oh, you are done with the first step. You are now on the second step, but and you are also left to the third step. So do you get that now? So the next one is subscription plan. We all seen subscription plan where you offer option menus like the monthly, the weekly, the yearly plans, like a normal subscription plans on our websites. So that is another UI design pattern. Then we have leaderboard. So for this leaderboard, it is almost majorly used in games. When we have, for games, we have levels. Maybe you're the novice, from the novice, you went to amateur, from amateur, you went to professional, from professional, you went to senior, from senior, just like that, like leaderboards, like ranks. So this is another UI pattern that we can incorporate, and also in social media platforms too. Social media platforms. I'm aware of some social media platform that it will show you your rank. So that is another UI pattern we can incorporate. Then we also have dark patterns. Okay, yes. Also, we have required field marker. We have required field marker. So for this required field marker, it just basically means that you should showcase, or you should be able to differentiate the questions that are important. If you have many questions on your account or your form fields, your form screens, always make sure that you indicate the ones that are important using asterisks. So indicate the ones that are very important so that your users won't feel like they have to fill all the entire form before they will be able to proceed. So the important informations, you use asterisk for it to be able to indicate that, okay, this particular one is important or not. So do we get that? Now the next one is dark patterns. So for these dark patterns, I want to show us like a um video on these dark patterns, a YouTube video on these dark patterns. So I hope the network will allow us to do that so that we can understand more on what dark patterns is. YouTube. I hope network will allow us to do that. Okay, so for dark patterns, it's just basically a way that we designers manipulate users using the information that they have about them to manipulate them in taking decisions that they don't even want to take, taking decisions they don't wish to take or they don't plan to take. So that's for dark patterns. So watching the video will make us understand more because it's actually very detailed information, like a very nice thing that we have to know as a UI designer. So the next one is password strengths. We all know password strengths, where you have for a password to be strong, you need to have a capital letter, uppercase, lowercase, symbol, and a number. So incorporate password strengths. Then autosave. Don't always stress your users to always press Ctrl S, Ctrl S, Ctrl S. Incorporate the autosave pattern. Then we also have captcha. Captcha is basically for authentication. We've all seen captcha, where to show you, okay, click here, show if you're not a robot, click all the flowers in this puzzle and all. No captcha, just majorly to authenticate if you're human or not. Then we have modals. Modals are like overlays. They are overlays that we use in the design. Then we have keyboard shortcuts. Then file upload. We have file upload. We have settings, and we have expandable inputs. Yeah, so can you guys still hear me?
Yes, ma. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. So that is for the UI design, There are more actually. There are more. So I'm going to send a link to the group to like a link to a website, an article that shows more of these UI design patterns. So hopefully you guys can go through it to learn more about UI design patterns. So the next two we're going to be talking about is rule of third. Basically, rule of third is just we don't use rule of third is more applicable to photography, to graphic design. But basically, what rule of third means is to help us to it helps in our layouts, in design layouts, basically helps in design layouts. So for this, Sorry, let me see if the YouTube has finished loading. Okay, it's still loading. All right, so for this, it's like I said, it's basically applicable to photography actually, but we use it in UX design too at some point. So it's just rule of third is just another way to look at the layout of, that is, using our grid overlay and placing the focal points. The focal points, what we know as the focal points, is where the four lines connect together, like these blue lines, those blue dots rather. These are our focal points. So now placing images on any of these focal points is, that is what we mean by applying rule of third. Like this part here, you can see here that the image is placed on the focal points here. So that's basically what rule of third means. So for this rule of third, we are going to, I don't know, let me check the time if we can still, okay. Let's see if we can still talk about the rule of third more detailed, because it's actually in another slide. So let me work with the rule YouTube videos. Okay, so now from what you said about UI design patterns, does anyone have any question? Any question? Promise, Mujola, do you guys have any question? So let's just hope this
No,
um
no question.
okay, Mujola, are you here? Do you have a question?
No, I don't have a question. I understand. Please, we can't hear you again. No, I know maybe you can hear us now.
Okay, hi, please, am I back? Can you guys hear me? Sorry, my network is really acting all this night. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, sorry, I'm so sorry about that. So let me present the YouTube video. Obvious. Let's just hope this will. Can you guys see my screen now? Can you guys see my screen? Hello. What is wrong with this
Yes,
thing?
ma. Yes, ma. We can see it.
Promise and hey, good. Okay. So please let me know if you can hear.
See it, ma. Yes, ma. We can see it.
Can you guys
Ma,
hear?
we can see it.
Can you hear the video? Can you hear?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. Please also I want you guys to take note of this video because I'll be asking you guys what you learned from it. So can we start now? Ready?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
I became a designer to make the world a more beautiful place. But the longer I've continued in my career, the more I've started to notice some aspects of design changing into something a bit different, and something that can be quite dangerous for all of us. Many of you may remember design as most people think of it, designing a beautiful poster for your wall or designing the interior of a gorgeous building. But design has evolved alongside technology, and many designers these days are crafting what we call user experiences, or UX design. A UX designer isn't really concerned with how a website looks. A UX designer is designing the way that you interact with the technology, product, and apps that you use every day. A UX designer is working to make your digital spaces easier, more delightful, and sometimes more addictive. And that's how design might be controlling your behavior without you even noticing. What's a name for the multitude of worryingly effective ways that designers use manipulative tactics to get you to behave the way that they would like. And I'm about to tell you about 4 of them today. So think back to last time you signed up for something. It was probably super simple, it might have felt a little bit exciting. If it was something like this, you might have done it even with a single click. And then you might want to cancel that service or unsubscribe from that email. In that case, you may have run into one of our first dark patterns, confirm shaming. Confirm shaming is when designers use manipulative language and emotionally charged design to make you feel really, really guilty about cancelling a service or leaving. Duolingo redesigned their owl to make you feel even more guilty about quitting than you did before. And it's been proven to be really effective. I mean, do you want to make the owl cry? Platforms that use this technique also often employ our next dark pattern, misdirection. That's when designers will hide the things that they don't really want you to see and draw lots of attention to the things that you do in order to help you to behave the way that they want. So I know all of you will have had some experience with buying tickets. And, this is a great price. But 4 screens later, when you've raced to enter all your personal information, you might see something more like this in the fine print. On platform StubHub, they used to put the entire price up front, even with that 30% extra you can see in the tiny
Man, the
little
video
text
is
there.
not clear and
But they
it's
discovered when they moved that fee just to the end and hid it until it was almost too late, people spent on average about
Man, the video is breaking. I don't even understand it.
Breaking. Okay. Mojo, what about your side? Is it breaking from your
It's not
side?
breaking, but I see that you're pausing it.
Is it breaking at your side?
No.
Yes, promise it's breaking. Promise, I guess that's your network.
It might be due to the network.
Yeah, I guess that's your network. Don't worry, I'll share the link on this. Let me share the link so that in case you just want to watch it from your own end, you can watch it.
21% extra. But that was kind of obvious. You probably noticed that one. Designers are using even more manipulative techniques to influence the way that you behave. The color red has been shown to raise heart rate, and it gets your attention. Online platform HubSpot discovered that when they changed one button from green to red, about 20% more people actually clicked on it just for that. Even that is pretty simple when you compare it to how some platforms are using this little red dot to enable mechanics that are kind of like gambling or slot machines. What'll happen is Instagram's notification algorithm will actually withhold likes from you. It'll create this growing sense of unease and disappointment and anticipation, and then suddenly, bam, they hit you with it all at once. And that's what's being designed, that rush of dopamine, that someone noticed your cat picture that keeps you coming back. And when you combine that compulsion to keep clicking with the next dark pattern, number 3, the trick question, things can get bad pretty quickly. In 2010, online e-commerce platform GameStation added this little clause to their shopping checkout, which gave them ownership of your immortal soul when you purchased with them. They did also put a big opt-out option, but they were quite surprised to end up the owners of several thousand souls, and they concluded that around 88% of people didn't read the terms and conditions or text when they checked out. The problem is, even if you are someone who happens to read all the terms and conditions, it might not help you. For instance, this is just a trick. I mean,
And we're back. The team is looking down the barrel of a 455.
I put this in the presentation. Sure which button I'm meant to be clicking. And when you bring these all together, often you enable dark pattern number 4, privacy dockery. Named, of course, for Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. This pattern is when designers combine all of these different techniques to get people to reveal much more information about themselves than they intended to. Many people don't know that in a disquieting form of digital grave robbing, Facebook can actually continue to collect information on you, even if your account is deactivated. And why does this matter? Well, it's all to do with how these platforms work. The problem is that they use your information to make money, and they collect it and sell it to other people. The people who collect and sell this information are called data brokers, and research by the US Federal Trade Commission uncovered the fact that one data broker had as many as 3,000 pieces of personal information on every American, nearly every American in the United States. And Professor Frank Pascal highlighted the fact that this can be used to classify people into groups that can be dangerous or discriminatory. They may group people together into a group called elderly and gullible, and then sell their information on to gambling marketers. This is what the dark side of design can enable. And this is why it matters. Because recent research backed by the British National Health Service uncovered the fact that 4 out of 5 health apps are so bad, they may be putting patient health at risk. And 7 out of 10 apps designed to prevent suicide fail to even meet basic measures of clinical quality. But more than that, when you're at your most vulnerable, that's when you need your privacy the most. That's the reason that there are such strict laws on therapists and counselors that control what information they can share about you. But unfortunately, design and technology is moving faster than the law can catch up. 4 of the major therapy apps have been shown to be sharing some of your data with platforms like Facebook, Pinterest, Google, and Snapchat. One of the reasons these platforms gave was that it enables a personalized experience. That is, they serve personalized advertising to you while you're on those platforms. That means that these companies are using information about your mental health to sell you advertising. Why is this happening? Well, what you need to know is how platforms like Facebook make their money. They make it from you and your attention. Your attention is the most valuable commodity in our modern digital ecosystem. If they have your attention, if they can keep you on their app or their website, they can gather more data about you. They can sell more data onto data brokers. They can give you more advertising, and they can make more money off you. That's why all of these companies are so desperate to get time and attention. And that's why their designers have been pushed to such extremes to try and... But it doesn't have to be like this. Design tools shouldn't be like this. Now that I've told you about all of this, I want you to hold these platforms and companies to account. Now that you're aware, you can avoid platforms that use techniques like this. Choose products that use your data ethically. Check out dartpattern.org, where ethical designers raise awareness of these patterns so that you can avoid them and not get trapped by them. On top of that, raise your voice. In the EU and UK, recent legislation has outlawed several dark patterns that were particularly predatory, thanks to widespread public outcry. Together, I believe that we can use design the way that it was intended, and we can design a better world together. Thank you.
All right, so I hope you were able to watch that.
Yes.
Hi guys. I. Okay. Promise, what about you? Were you able to catch up something? Or you're watching at your own end?
Yes, I was able, but it's not. That was brief.
All right, so just share with us what you learned from dark pattern. Okay, I will ask this question first. Do you think this is legal or not? Is it like legal or it's illegal? Let me say robbery. Who wants to go first? I want me to call names again. Okay, Mujola, go first. Is it legal or illegal?
I can't hear you very well. Hello.
Is it illegal? It's legal.
Pattern. Hello.
Incorporating dark patterns in designs as a UX designer. Is it legal?
It's legal and it's not legal
Is
because
it illegal?
uh,
That's what I'm asking.
what is it? Hello.
As a UX designer, is it legal to incorporate these dark patterns in our designs?
To me, it's legal.
Okay. Can you explain how it's legal? Or why did you say it's legal?
Because using I'm sure that and it's 50-50, but using dark pattern in, let me say, like Facebook, like social, all these social media, able to revert or to analyze their charts and the likes. My own thought though, I don't know.
Okay, that's your own opinion. Promise, what about yours? What's your opinion?
It is legal. It is legal.
Okay, can you explain better?
Because it is used to gather information, and that's what I know. So
Is this to gather informations?
yes.
Or is that what you said? Okay. All right. So you guys are saying it's legal. Okay. Now let's just talk basically on everything. So what did you learn from this dark pattern now? What did you learn from the video we just watched? Can you guys hear me? Mujola, please, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, let's start with you. What did you come up with? What did you learn in this video? Just like a summary.
Are you please are you talking to me?
I'm waiting.
Ah,
Yes.
God.
I'm saying, what are you learning?
I've explained the little that I know about these dark pattern. How design seek to control us. Ah, I don't know how to explain. The little I can explain is that dark pattern is
Okay, so I didn't really get what you explained.
maybe promise should explain his own part. Then maybe I'll start from there. I'll get idea from there.
Probably to did not to start. Okay, let me just make it. In the aspects of this, please, up I'm still audible. Can you
Yes,
can you
yes,
hear me
yes,
clearly?
yes.
Okay, so let's say in this aspect of manipulating users, maybe you want to cancel a subscription and it's telling you cancel, continue. You don't, you just say, are you sure you want to cancel the subscription? Cancel, continue. And you don't even know, what they're trying to do is that they don't want you to cancel. So you are going to be confused on which one to choose. Maybe cancel, or should I choose continue? Do you get that aspect? So in that kind of scenario, do you think it's actually a good UX practice in the aspects of user experience now? User experience, not, they from their own aspect, they were trying to not lose their customers. If I say that they're trying to not lose their customers, or let me say they are trying to keep their revenues, maybe the profit they are getting from the services, they are trying to keep it. But now in the aspects of UX as a user experience, now as a user, I see action to it. Do you get the question?
I'm lost. Oh, please, someone's to find me.
Hello.
I said I'm lost. If
Okay.
you can recap.
Yeah. So can you hear me now? Can you hear me can you hear me clearly now? Okay. So what I'm saying is that there's an aspect the lady mentioned about subscription. Maybe you want to cancel like a plan or a subscription. Maybe are you sure you want to cancel this particular plan? You have the cancel button and you have the continue button. Now you can see that those two buttons now they're kind of confusing, right? Because you're saying, do you want to cancel? You don't know what to pick. Maybe it's continue or to cancel. They are trying to like keep you as their customer, or let me say as their customer. They don't want to lose the profits or the revenue they are getting from you. They don't want to lose it. But now I'm asking now, like as a UX designer, is it a good UX principle to incorporate? Now you as a user, let me say, put yourself in the shoes of your user. As a user now, you encounter that kind of scenario. What would be your reaction to it? That's what I'm asking.
I'll totally be
So do you
confused.
get the question?
Yes. I'll totally be confused because I don't know what to do. Like let's say I'm in a place of decision, and I don't know either to continue
Yes.
or to cancel. So as a US
Yeah.
designer, we should look for another way to do it because it won't make sense when the user get to somewhere and they were stuck. You don't know, oh, should I do
Mm-hmm.
this or should I do that? That's what I say. You are design was able to know to picture it as, oh, if it is cancel button, let's cancel button be there. And if it is continue button, let's continue button be there.
Okay. Promise, what about your own aspect? Thank you. Promise, did you hear my question?
No, ma. No, ma.
Promise, are you still here?
What was the question, ma?
But can you hear me now?
I'm here, ma. Yes, what was the question? I didn't know. I didn't get it.
Okay. Okay, so did you watch the video up to the point where you have
Can you hear me?
the cancel or continue? I can hear you. I think your network is lagging behind, I think. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. For our assignments for tomorrow, just like for 5 minutes, I want us to research more the dark patterns in the aspects of UX design. So I want us to research on dark patterns. What are the advantage and the disadvantage of using dark patterns as a UX designer? UX designer now, because it's basically experience. So I want us to like make research on the dark patterns and get as a UX designers, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Did we get that?
Yes.
Promise,
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
get that? All right. So that will be our assignment for tomorrow. So for 5 minutes, we just like summarize what you think. If you think as a UX designer, you should use dark patterns in your design or not. So I guess that's it settled, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So okay, so I think that should be all for tonight. Do we have any question on the classes or maybe what you've done so far? Okay, yes. So for now, what's yours? Do you have any challenges when you were designing your landing page? The
Yes, so I have. But I later get it when I watch the video to the end, and I do it on my own. So I was able to counter fit the situation. And number two, there is a is this slider? Yeah, slider that I said you should work on. Is this slider that 30% of the thing? I don't remember the name. I think I did it. I was confused at some points, but I don't know, maybe I really get it actually. The end result, sure.
sorry, what was that? What's that? The
Yes.
slider.
Yeah, is it
Sorry, I
slider?
didn't
I
hear
don't
you.
know
The
the name
slider.
of this thing. That we put 10%, 20%, 40% and the like. That's yeah, progress bar.
And the
Yeah.
slider progress bar. Okay, details. Let me check. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. That's my question.
Yes, it's okay. It's nice. All right. So can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you now.
Okay, promise,
I
are you
can't hear
here?
you, ma'am.
Are you here? Can you hear me
Yes, ma'am.
now?
I can hear you now.
All right. So I will say you should watch the Sunday video so that tomorrow you will not be lost when we want to continue with our design. What we did on last week. So that by tomorrow you will
Your
not
network
be
is breaking.
confused at some point when we want to continue with the landing page, because we're going to continue with the landing page tomorrow. Okay. Um, okay, am I clear now?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
So for promise, I said I will just beseech. Let me say, okay, or plead or advise. Which of the words do you want to use to watch the video, the recording on Sunday, last week Sunday. Just watch the recording because tomorrow we are going to be starting from where we stopped so that you will not be confused. Do you get that? Do you get that?
Okay, man, no problem.
Please, just please watch it because by tomorrow we continue from where we stop so that you will not keep missing the practical aspect. Just learning the theory without the practical would not make more sense. So I will beseech that you just watch it. All right, so that's will be the end for today's class. So in case you have any question, just give me a WhatsApp and I will answer to your questions. Is that fine?
Yes.
Assignment tomorrow, and please let's come early. Let's join early tomorrow. Let's join the class early. Okay, that will be all for today. Okay, so since there's no question, you guys should have a wonderful night's rest. So good night, everyone.
Night.